Bulldog Nation, you are now going to witness, watch, and listen to the best podcast in the league. Get set for a wild ride with From the Hill Podcast, featuring Wayne Cartwright, Damian Green, Tanarius Gooden, David Thomas, Jennifer Murray, and Corey Williams. Don't miss out. Subscribe now to From the Hill Podcast. It's time to turn up the excitement and make some noise.
Well, good evening, everybody. Once again, we are back on another fabulous Tuesday. What's going on, my brothers?
What's up?
What's going on, Wayne?
What's going on?
Hey, man. We living, man. And hello, Jen.
Uh-oh.
With the hat on. Okay.
Listen, it was raining at the game Saturday, so I said I bought a hat, so I was gonna wear it.
Hey, you got your Beyonce on, don't you?
I ain't mad at it, Jen. Wasn't expecting it, man. I ain't mad at it.
I love it. I love it for real. That's dope. That's dope. Hey, you talking about rain? That's something that we don't know anything about up here in Ohio, man. We have had extreme drought like it's been California. We've had 2 days of measurable rain in the last 41 days here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So all the rain y'all got, we have not gotten.
We definitely got some up here in Charlotte because it rained all day yesterday. All day.
Well, I really needed some of that, man, because all of our grass up here in Ohio, man, is brown and dusty. But welcome everybody once again to the show. We got the family in the house. As we always do at this time, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also follow us on all of our social media handles. And you can also see at the bottom of the screen, we have some updated fall sports that are in action. So you can see all of the different ways you can keep up with Bulldog action. All right. So let us proceed into our housekeeping this evening. T. Gooden, you're up.
Yes, sir. Alabama A&M is the sole HBCU in the $2.8 million. What this is, we became the sole historically black college and university selected to participate in a $2.8 million initiative funded by the National Science Foundation. The project focuses on developing an undergraduate curriculum to advance research, administration, and management, a field often overlooked in formal academic training. Alabama A&M will work alongside institutions such as the University of South Alabama, that's down in Mobile, the University of Miami, Ohio, the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, the University of California, San Diego, and New Mexico State University to develop and implement courses that will serve as a foundation for this new program. You can get more information about that story at hbcubuzz.com.
That is
Good job,
awesome, man. Awesome. Love it when we see the millions.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. And in the spirit of what Jen has on her head, they had Boots and Buckles night on Saturday night. And the next time that the Bulldog football program will be on the hill will be during homecoming, if you can believe that, where the theme will be Protect This Hill with maroon and white colors, the battle on the 50. So we got a couple games coming up before that, but just wanted to make sure that if you have not purchased tickets, you better get with it. And also feel free to purchase tickets to the other two home games while you're at it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. And then just in the spirit of homecoming, as we mentioned, just have a very star-studded lineup. So, if you have not made your plans for which events you're going to take in or how long you're going to stay out at the tailgate, I suggest if you're part of the 40 and up crew, just like me, you might want to set you a very strict and stiff agenda. Because if you try to be all things to everybody at all times, it may not end very well for you. Am I right, Corey Williams?
You are definitely correct. And just to take a note on this, they announced today that the Boosie and Glorilla that sold out already.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And
If
don't
you
go buy
remember-
and don't
if
go
you
buy
remember-
no student ticket because you got to have an ID. It's FYI.
If you remember what Teddy Ruxpin is, start hydrating today.
I had one of those.
If you've ever played in Atari, start hydrating today.
Hold on, Jen. You got me with Teddy Ruxpin.
Hey, after the show, I have a picture of me sitting on the sofa with my Teddy Ruxpin. I ain't gonna put it on the show. I'm gonna put that in our chat. But I'm gonna show you the picture of me as a kid with Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh, it's me, Brand. I had one.
See there?
I had one of those.
So, Brand, gonna start hydrating today. Yes.
And then Benny said Pedialyte is on sale at Costco. Pedialyte, man. Pedialyte, hey, it'll save your soul. It'll save your soul, man.
What we're gonna do is not gonna take all the babies Pedialyte. I'm gonna need for y'all adults to go get those hydration packs that they sell. Don't go getting all the children's Pedialyte.
Right. Get the one where you pour it in the bottle, shake it up in that water.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Just drink water now.
And take your high blood pressure medicine.
And take your blood pressure medicine.
Bring your compression socks. Amen.
Hey,
Amen.
What we talking about now is what we got our brother PJ Thompson coming on to talk about October 1st. So he gonna give you all the tips of what to do and what not to do on that homecoming week. Well, not October 1st. Well, sometime he'll be here.
Yes,
I think it's October 1st. But yeah, he got you hooked up.
That's right. But in the meantime, before we get to homecoming, I said two football games. It's actually 3 football games. Right. You've got the one this Saturday at Austin P, which we will talk about. Details are on the screen. 6:00 p.m. Central kickoff. It'll also be seen on ESPN Plus. Then the following week is the SWAC opener down in Tallahassee at FAMU, and then the Gulf Coast Challenge in Mobile against Jackson State. So those are the next 3 home games for football. Yep. All right, family, at this time, we like to roll into our first guest of the evening. This gentleman, he is in the state of Connecticut right now, but he hails from Alabama. He is an Alabama A&M graduate, and he is the VP of sales for Beyond Trash LLC. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you would, welcome to From the Hill podcast for the very first time, Nelson McLeod. Welcome, sir. How are you?
What's going on, Nelson?
Hey, that's how you started off.
That's how you started off.
I didn't have anything. I don't have anything maroon up here, so
you had to get
right. Gotta find what you're saying, right?
Improvise is what I had to do, man. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for having me, man.
Hey, we're great, man, and it's good to have you out. And look, they already got you started, man. Congrats to Nelson. Got all claps, a round of applause, all this going on for you, man. So
Nelson hadn't said a word. Nelson hadn't said a word yet.
They
were saying congratulations to my drink.
Megan Howard said, "My boy." Yeah, man. Yeah, it's great to see you, man. It is so great to see you. And as I said, you're up there in Connecticut right now on some business. So, you on your grown man stuff right now. And, if you could, man, tell everybody about Nelson McLeod, who he is, and then give us a little intro about Beyond Trash, man.
Well, of course, I'm Nelson. Class of 99 is the year that I entered Alabama A&M. You know, those of us that didn't graduate in exactly 4 years don't really talk about when we graduated. We celebrate the year we got there because we all went on different paths and trajectories, man. So shout out to the people that came in the class of 99. We turning up for our 25th year this year. Right? But listen, man, born and raised in Alabama, short of Macon County, came to A&M in 1999, man, and I never left Huntsville. I fell in love with the city and all that it brings to the table. Met one of my closest friends in 99 as a freshman in Hopkins Hall. We ended up having a bond that's lasted all of this time. He went his path. I went my way. He did, he got his degree. He moved to the Midwest, did waste management. I was here doing B2B sales. He decided he wanted to move back home. He had been so successful in the waste management industry. He decided that he wanted to bring that here. There was a void in the market. Waste management is a lot like a utility. So people don't think that you have the option. You know what I'm saying? Like they think the waste management company you have is the company you have to have. And those prices are the prices that you have to pay. They don't know that you have options. So it wasn't a lot of competition in the commercial space. So he had the industry knowledge. I had the lay of the land and, the experience in commercial sales and B2B sales. And we just put it together, man. And we came back, they say start here, go anywhere. So we started here and now we're back here with Beyond Trash, man. And I'm excited about it.
That's what's up, man. Like Nelson, I've been knowing you for a while, and I've always known you as a career salesman from AT&T to what you're doing now, and to now Beyond Trash. So selling is selling, but how does what you do now? How is different? How's your process different from selling the telecommunications product that you were doing previously?
Well, the big difference now is I'm also responsible for the service that we provide. When I was selling for AT&T, I was selling services that they were responsible for providing, and I was selling that service with the expectation that they would provide, a certain level of service. Now I'm responsible for, selling the service, presenting to the customers in the same way that I've always done. But now we're also, as owners, we're also responsible for the quality of the service and everything that goes into that. The maintenance of the accounts, the billing, the inventory, just every facet of the business. We're a part of. Where before it was just me involved in the sales process.
Nice. Now, Beyond Trash LLC just won a Rising Star Award with the Alabama State Black Chamber of Commerce. So it's one thing to start a business, it's another thing to thrive, and you are being recognized by your peers for what y'all are doing. So how does that feel to be celebrated amongst Black businesses?
Listen, I never would have imagined, when we started this, that it would have, escalated at the rate that we've grown this fast. We dropped our first dumpster in March of this year. Right now, we're at about 75 accounts. We've also added a roll-off piece to it. So 90% of our roll-off inventory is currently rented out. When the first time we went to a Black Chamber meeting, we didn't even have a place. We were actually looking for a location to house our dumpsters. I didn't even know that I needed an office. I just was looking for somebody with some land. We went in there and people were giving us all types of information about, hey, buy some land, or this place, this guy might have some land that you can rent out. And to go from that, that was February, to finding a spot, to getting it going, to now, I think we might be at probably $75,000 in revenue, just in this short amount of time, man. God is good, and I appreciate everybody in the city that's supporting us and everybody that's planning to support us in the future, man. We couldn't have did it without them.
Nice.
Yeah, and Nelson, I saw on your social media page that you guys had just landed a new client, PJ's Coffee. So congratulations, you guys.
Which one was that? It cut out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. PJ's Coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So congratulations on that. But I wanted to know, when you guys are looking for new businesses and things like that, what's your sales pitch? Because when you think of waste management, it's not a business venture that a lot of people think about or even go into. You know, people that want to start their own clothing or their own shoe or some other type of company, but waste management just isn't one of them. So how do you guys, get new business and just talk about that a little bit?
Well, I mean, we came to market because like I said, we saw a void there. You know, there are only 3 other competitors. You have Waste Management, which is nationwide. You have Republic, which is pretty much nationwide, and then you have Waste Away, which was the only company that was locally owned. But they've all been around so long. You know, trash is not a thing that people traditionally glorify. So we figured that we could put a marketing aspect on it and make it cool. You know, make us the cool trash company. It's a couple of different differentiators we do. You know, our dumpsters are black and nice enamel painted if you've seen them, and we keep them that way. Our drivers have a spray can in the truck, so if he ever goes to a stop when he picks up and the dumpster's not looking his best, he'll hop out and spray paint it. We don't charge anything extra for that. So we want to add to the aesthetics of Huntsville as the city grows. Now, I don't know if that answered your question, but we wanted to try to market, just make it a thing. Like, we want to be like the go-to company to the point that it almost doesn't make sense. Like, why doesn't your business have a Beyond Trash dumpster outside? Why you got whoever you got? Why your dumpster look like that when it could look like this?
Yeah, it sounds like you guys also give it a personal touch and attention to detail, because like you said, giving your drivers a spray can, and if the dumpster isn't up to par the way it's supposed to look, then they're going to fix it right then and there without even any type of work order being put in, anybody calling you guys saying, hey, this doesn't look right. So I think that special touch, what I call it, you guys put on, that kind of will probably separate.
Man, listen, we actually do a dumpster deodorizing service too. So, like, if you're a restaurant or something and you get a lot of trash, senior citizen homes have been taking advantage of it a lot. They have a lot of incontinence in the dumpsters. So we provide a service that once a month after we dump the trash, we got a guy that'll come out there, pressure wash the dumpster, disinfect it, and then deodorize it. It smells like it never happened.
Nice.
That's nice.
Hey, Nelson, congratulations on the success of your business.
Thank you, man.
One of the things that I want to ask, starting a business is difficult. You know, a lot of people go and start different businesses, and then to get into the Huntsville market. What are some of the barriers and challenges that you all faced trying to first for your business, and also the barriers and challenges that you face with the competitors here in town who has been here for a long-standing time?
Listen, man, getting into the business was not very hard because the hardest part was people accepting it. Like, it was a lot of like, who wants to start a trash company or a trash business? So it was just the shock of it. So we didn't really have much resistance because I don't think anybody has ever presented that type of opportunity before. So everybody was like, okay, if that's what y'all want to do. A lot of people don't understand it or they don't believe it because of the type of capital it usually takes to get something like this started. So they don't understand, like, or they're afraid of, maybe we haven't done it properly. So when I say we have 5 trucks and we have over 100 dumpsters in our inventory, people are shocked and amazed by that. But the barriers from the competitors, we got some hate. We're still getting hate. You have some account managers that give customers a more difficult time when they want to cancel their service or they want to end their contract, and they try to throw additional clauses in there and inflate the cost that it's going to cost them to cancel. So, but we work with customers, man. We've done all types of things. I've helped people, figure out workarounds to make it happen. So the good thing about it is that we're flexible, we're communicative. You don't have to get you call, and the first person that answers the phone is somebody that can help You know, so we bring some different differentiators to the table that the larger companies aren't able to duplicate. So, and that's made us successful thus far.
Well,
and before we get you out of here, Nelson, man, I just want to tell you again, congrats. But you are the only Black-owned waste management company in the state of Alabama. So let's just make sure people do know that the only in the entire state. Alabama A&M graduates from shorter Alabama, from the 334. You know,
come on now, 334, baby.
Let me go ahead and do my thing. But also, man, just like people need, like, you're in Huntsville, but that you're not limited to Huntsville. But tell the people, the clients that you have now, and how can they contact you to become a client?
Well, some of our clients, and this is one of the things that I've been the most excited about, is that we just began working with our alma mater, the illustrious Alabama A&M University. So I want to just make some noise for that. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we've been working on, and we're still in the process of finalizing all of the paperwork to get everything established. But we have already began servicing the tailgating spaces. So eventually, hopefully, you'll see the black dumpsters on the campus. I told them that I was going to try to put the burgundy lids on the dumpsters to add a special little flair.
Come on with it, Nelson. Bring it.
So that's how much I love the school, man. That's the most exciting thing I can think of, to be a product of the school and then come back and bring my product to the school. You know what I'm saying? That warms my heart. I might shed a tear too once we get it all done. But we got Chick-fil-A, like you said, PJ's Coffee, the exhibition hub where the Van Gogh experiment is. I got HC Blake is one of our customers. Roller Museums is one of our customers. Trio. I got Entice, the new club that just opened. Man, we got a bunch of bars, restaurants, just anything. If you have a dumpster and you need a dumpster, if you cleaning out your grandma's house and you just need a dumpster short term, man, give us a call. 256-900-2104. And I bet you I can figure something out of the box thinking. Sometimes I put the dumpster that's outside the business at your house because you don't need the large one, man. So we have those types of capabilities because, you know, we're a boutique operation.
Yeah, man, this is great. And, we'll get you out of here because, Jay White wanted to throw something else up in here. He said, Christmas, my boy, they used to rap at their freestyle battles on the yard. And then your boy C said he raps now. I just did a show with him.
Nelson gonna flow a little bit, man. Don't let it fool you.
Don't
let his salesman talk for you.
Yeah, no, I just did a show. I just did a show at the camp this past Thursday. So we do. I'm up here for my job, and then Beyond Trash is my passion, and then music is like a hobby. So we all have multiple things that we do, man. I love music. So that's forever gonna be a part of my, my DNA.
That's what's up, man. A man of many talents and also an A&M graduate. Start here, go anywhere. Nelson McLeod, VP of Sales, Beyond Trash LLC. You heard
Thank
the
y'all
man.
For having me, man.
You heard the man. Get in contact with him and get your company hooked up with his service.
Come get one of these dumpsters, baby.
Nelson, man, God bless you, my brother. Great to talk to you. We'll see you up the road.
Man, thank y'all, man. Y'all take it easy. Appreciate it, T.
All right, no doubt.
All right. Yeah, man.
I know, like I'm glad he said it, but just to reiterate, waste management is so important. Like, it is probably one of the most important businesses because don't have nowhere to put your waste and see how sick and see how sick you can get. It's so imperative. So he does a much needed service for the community.
All right. Well, shout out to Nelson, and we're gonna keep moving, y'all. The next person we bring in before you, he is number 10 in your program. He hails, Jen. You ready for this? Jen, tell us where he hails from, because you know where he hails from. If I say, Jen, you ready for this? Where does he hail from, Jen?
The great city of Birmingham, Alabama.
There it is. Number 10 in your program. And he is a quarterback. And let's bring him on for the very first time here on From the Hill Podcast. Let's introduce number 10 himself, quarterback. You know him as Quad. We know him as Quad. But we'll call him by his government name, Cornelius Brown IV. What up, Quad? Welcome
What's
to
up,
the
Mr.
show.
Cartwright? How y'all doing? Can you guys hear me well?
Yeah, man. We got you loud and clear, man. It's great to have you on, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Before we get started with the questions, can we shout out Miss Pamela Jackson?
Yeah, man. I got to. I got to go right on back up here top. Miss Pamela.
There she is. There she is, my number one fan. Shout out to GP. I appreciate you for tuning in, GP. That's what I call it.
Thanks for joining us, GP.
Yeah, she coming. She bringing it. Quad Brown family.
I love
that. All that.
Oh yeah, she gonna come hard every time.
So Quad, man, we know that you're back and you're in full effect, and we're 2-1 right now. And getting ready to make that trip up there to Austin P on Saturday night. So we got an arrangement of questions for you, and only thing I got for you is, if you just could, so far, man, just assess the 3 games for us, man.
Well, I mean, it's been a good 3 games for us. I feel like it's been good because we've gained a lot of experience. And in my eyes, experience is nothing but a culmination of mistakes. So we haven't played a perfect game. Of course, you don't expect to play a perfect game early on in the season. We go down there to Auburn, don't really play very well on the offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball, but we did move the football. I was able to throw for 182 yards, I believe, down there, but there were some decisions that I didn't make that I needed to make in that game that would have made it a closer game. There were some execution things on my part and on the offensive part that we should have done better. We could have played better, but we did move the football. We were able to, I think, get around 300 yards of total offense in that game. So that was something that was promising. But you head down to the next game, which is Kentucky State. Won that game big, 49-7. But again, in that game, we didn't play perfect. There were some things that we wanted to fix in the run game, some things that we wanted to fix in the pass game. But like I said, a win is a win, and we appreciate it. We celebrate every win. But I think Coach Maynard and Coach Taylor and Coach Mai, they do a good job of not letting us get too high on the positives. We emphasize the negatives more than we do the positives. Like Kentucky State game, I was 19 for 26, but we talked about those 7 incompletions more than we talked about those 19 completions, because that's what they brought me here to do, is complete passes. So I think we played well in that game, like I said, but there were some things that we left out there. Scored on 7 out of 10 drives versus Kentucky State. But like I said, we wanted to look at those 3 drives. Why didn't we score in those situations? Why weren't we able to get a timeout called at the end of the first half that would have given us an opportunity to score? I should have gotten up after the second call timeout there. So just the little nuances. Coach Maynard, he always preaches the details, the little things. If we do the little things right, like, have the correct things on at practice and at games, then that will translate to the field. And this last game versus Georgetown, we win that game by 7 points, only scored 24 points on the NAIA school. Again, Coach Maynard's mantra is respect all and fear none. So I feel like going into that game, we didn't give those guys the respect that they deserved. We didn't play as hard as we needed to, just in all phases of the game. And they were a really good team. I think they're a top 3 team in AIA, and they played really hard, and they were very fundamentally sound, but we didn't execute. On my part, I didn't do a really good job of executing in the low red. We were able to drive the football again, but whenever we got to the red zone, there were a couple of decisions that I didn't make that I needed to make. I should have thrown the corner out to DJ Nelson whenever we got low, but I chose a tough one-on-one matchup to the boundary. We ran a post-wheel concept to the boundary. I wasn't able to get my feet set and make that throw. But like I said, we don't really harp on the positives, because Coach Maynard and Coach Taylor, they preach, we bring you here to do good things. We're going to talk about the bad things and wipe those negatives off of the plate. And that's how you become great. So like I said, we got better in those 3 games. We didn't play the way that we wanted to, but we progressed every week. You know, we try not to make the same mistakes over and over again. And I'm in the process of breaking some old habits because I haven't played football in a really long time. You know, just thankful for the opportunity to be the starting quarterback for Alabama A&M. But I haven't played very much football since 2020, 2021. So I'm still working on getting rid of some bad habits, but I have great coaches. I think Coach Taylor is the best coach that I've ever played for. He is in the process of making me a better quarterback than I even thought I could be personally. So Coach Maynard holds me to an extremely high standard, and just going out each and every morning at 5 o'clock, you know, some days you don't want to be out there, but just going out there with a mindset of getting better, not I'm good already, because there are some things that I feel like I do well, but I'm going out there each and every day trying to get rid of bad habits, trying to just better myself, become a better leader. And it's going to translate toward the end of the season. Whenever we get into conference play, I think we'll be comfortable with each other. Coach Taylor and I feel like we're starting to make good music together. So just a combination of them coaching me hard, Coach Mai holding me to a very high standard, Coach Maynard holding me to a very high standard. I think that's a recipe for success on the offensive end.
That's what's up. Jen.
Nice. So, Quad, you come from an athletic family. Your father played college basketball at Arkansas State. You have a sister or a brother. I'm trying to make sure I get that right. They played basketball at Lawson State. So
Correct.
Coming from Birmingham, could you kind of walk through your journey of how you ended up on Normal's heel?
Well, a lot of people don't know, but my grandmother, Rosie Ward Brown, she went to Alabama A&M. So it's kind of in the bloodline, I would say. But my dad, that's my role model. That's my hero. He had me in sports ever since I was young. Basketball, baseball, football. Football was always my favorite sport. Well, I really was a seasonal athlete until I got to high school. If it was basketball season, I'm a basketball player. I'm going to the NBA. If it was baseball season, I want to be Barry Bonds. I want to hit home runs. Football season, I want to be like, you know, Tom Brady or whoever it may be. So played sports a lot as a kid. Like I said, my dad got me into it. He was a really good athlete, but he wasn't able to play football. So football was always his favorite sport, but he was a top 5 basketball player in his class in the state of Alabama. But he always had an affinity for football. He always had a passion for football. Our conversations about football were usually, in a good way, more emotional than our conversations about basketball. And he had always saw in me what he saw in himself. He aspired to be a great quarterback, but because of some situations with coaches and family, he wasn't allowed to play football. So, you know, just sharing that passion with him and just being able to go out there and wear number 10, that was his number, and play the sport that he loved but wasn't able to play, that kind of is one of my whys and kind of fulfills me. But, you know, I always had a ball in my hand, and football ended up being the sport I had the most longevity in. So that's the sport that I decided to play, and signed to Georgia State out of high school. Was able to play a really successful season there. My redshirt freshman year, was able to put up some pretty good numbers, 2,400 yards, 24 touchdowns. Some things happened the year following. I didn't play very well in some games, you know, and they decided to go in a separate way. I went to UT Martin, played for Coach Jason Simpson. Coach Travis Partridge there was my quarterback coach and the pass game coordinator. And I feel like they did a really good job of developing me into, you know, a pass-first quarterback. When I was at Georgia State, it was almost run balance, RPO, gun triple type offense. And I kind of was developed as a passer there. And I come here and now I'm put in a situation where I'm blessed to have 3 quarterbacks coaching me each and every day. We'll watch a play in film. Coach Maynard will have something to say, and that'll be different than what Coach Taylor has to say. And that'll be different from what Coach Maya has to say, but I can get 3 coaching points from one clip. So that's the beauty of playing quarterback for Alabama A&M. And again, they hold me to such a high standard. And like I said, I didn't know how good I could be at quarterback until I got here, until I'm like, I mean, you look at it sometimes and I'm like, man, why are they on me so hard? But like I said, before I got here, and whenever I started getting coached by Coach Taylor, especially, he has made me into a better quarterback than I saw myself being, you know, and that's how I ended up here, you know, and I have 2 seasons to play here, and I can't wait for the success that's to come here, being a Bulldog here on the Hill.
Hey, Quad. Last year season got cut short, and this year I know one of the things that I've noticed as far as about your leadership, doing conditioning. If anybody's ever be out there, and sometimes y'all have to roll. A lot of times you're the one of the first ones who's finished, and so just tell us about as far as about the leadership and that you've developed as far as with the team and those dynamics.
Well, first of all, I play for a great group of guys. We're really, truly a family. We love each other. It's really tough to wake up at 4 a.m. and go to work and go play football and go through the mental and physical stresses of playing this sport with some guys you don't like. So I like these guys on this team. I wanted to come back to this team whenever I was away last year and whenever I had the injury and took some time to myself. But I feel like it's something that my dad has instilled in me since I was a kid. Whenever I was young and I would play football in Little League and we ran laps, I was always the first one around the track. Not because I was the fastest, but because that's what leaders do. A quarterback is a person, not just a player. So I feel like leadership is really a pillar of what a quarterback must be. So whenever I'm sprinting, I'm not the fastest guy on the team, but I have to show the guys that I'm willing to work. I have to lead by example. I can't just be a vocal leader. So I try to do that as best as I can. I'm not perfect. So I feel like I do a decent job of accepting accountability, but also as the quarterback, you have to hold other guys accountable, which I'm not very confrontational as a person. That's not really who I am, but sometimes I have to step out of my comfort zone and get on to people and hold guys to a higher standard and kind of do what Coach Taylor and Coach Maynard and Coach Ma do for me. Let them realize how good they can be, because some guys may think they're 7, but really they can be a 10 or 11 if they're pushed and if they pursue their talent and pursue the gifts that God's given them. So I just feel like it's almost a natural trait for me. But it's also just something that's been instilled in me since I was a child.
Okay, awesome.
I really love the accountability that you speak about, not just for the team, as a whole, but for you yourself as an individual player. So I really love that about you. But I want to shift gears a little bit because I like to get to know players outside of football. So I do, follow you on social media, and I see the things you post, your gas station photos, which I have no idea why you guys post those kind of photos at the gas station. I guess it's
great lighting. You can't beat the lighting. That's why.
That's what it is.
Yeah. It's the lighting. That's what it is.
Okay, I learned something today. Cool. So with your content, you're hanging out with the players again outside of football. You hitting some golf balls, on the golf course. So talk to us about what Cornelius Brown experience has been on the hill, not as the football player, but as the person.
Well, I feel like as of last spring semester, whenever Coach Maynard and Coach Taylor, we had those conversations and they allowed me to come back and we kind of let bygones be bygones. It's really elevated because I've, submerged myself more into the culture of HBCU. I've, gone out a little bit more. I don't really party. I'm kind of older now, so I've kind of let that go, but going to different events, been on the scene a little bit more, gotten closer with my teammates, gotten closer with regular students. I have, people from Birmingham that go here, just having conversations with them, talking to them about their experiences. So I think that's what's kind of helped me. I'm not very much into social life, but just hanging out with my teammates, playing the game with those guys, going out to eat with those guys, just doing those different things that have kind of helped me build that camaraderie with them. And also, Coach Maynard allowed me to walk onto the golf team. So that's been a blessing. My dad got me into golf whenever I was a kid, and I've always had an affinity for the sport. I've always loved the sport. So being out there with the golf team, Sam, Corey, Niall, Fob, some of those guys, it's a completely different scenery than the football field. The football field, we're very emotional, very loud. Sometimes we're out there talking trash. It's a very rah-rah sport. And then I would go in the spring semester, not playing any golf right now. In the spring semester, I would go to weights into spring practice in the morning, and I'm up here. Then in the afternoon, I take my nap, go to meetings, watch my film, go to treatment, and then in the afternoon around 2-3 o'clock, now I'm at the golf course, hitting balls with Coach Jackson and getting pointers from those guys, because I'm not the best golfer on the golf team. I don't know if that's a surprise or not, but I'm getting there, working towards it. In the spring semester, hopefully I'll be able to be competitive. But that's something that Coach Maynard's allowed me to do, and I feel like Coach Maynard does a good job of allowing us to be us, within the confinements of his rules, because it's his program. But he could have easily said, no, I brought you here to play quarterback, but he loves golf as well. So he allowed me to go out there and be on the golf team. So that's kind of a escape for me. I can go out there and just calm my mind, play a sport that I love. It's not too stressful on my body. It's not like I'm playing football and basketball. So that's just something that I enjoy. So on a regular day, not right now, again, because I said I'm in season, I would go to practice in the morning, weights, whatever it may be, and then go play golf in the afternoon. And now I'm back in my room hanging out with my guys. I cut hair too, so I'm opening up the barbershop, just chopping it up during that camaraderie, and then I go to sleep and do it all over again. So my little sister goes here, Jamie. She's a sophomore here, so it's good to have her close by. So the Hill is the Hill. It's family. My little brother is the quarterback at Winona High School, so he's an hour and a half away. So he'll come up to a game or come up to a scrimmage, and it's just beautiful to see him tell my dad, I'm staying with Quad tonight. Then my dad will just look at me. And I'm like, yeah, he can. I'll bring him home tomorrow. It's only an hour and a half away. So it's good to have that camaraderie and have that family close by, and really just feel the love from the alumni, from my teammates, from the coaches. I've really enjoyed my time here.
That's dope. And one more question, I guess, back to football a little bit. And I ask every player this that comes on the show. Got to know, what's your game day ritual? What's going to get you in the zone for the game? What you listening to? What you doing? What you drinking? If you're eating something before, whatever it is, what is Quad doing to prepare mentally for the game?
Well, we've had afternoon games, so I guess I'll just give you the afternoon timetable, if you will. So wake up at around 8 o'clock, really 7:30. And like I said, I cut hair. So I cut my hair every game day. So that's kind of how I get myself going. I'll let myself get a little rough during the week. And on Saturday, I'll clean my face up, give myself a fade, line myself up real nice. And then we go down to breakfast. And up until maybe 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm gospel music. So I call it my gratitude period. So I'm just thanking God for the opportunity to play football, thanking God that I have the health and the ability to play this sport. Just thanking God that I'm here. I'm in my 6th year. I could have been done playing college football. I could have been out in the real world where it gets dirty, trying to find a job and competing for a paycheck. But I have the opportunity to play the game that I love still at this point. So we'll eat breakfast around 9 o'clock. And this is kind of a tentative schedule. And then we'll have our walkthrough around 10. So I try to eat a good little bit at breakfast, but I'm not a big breakfast guy. So try to put down what I can at breakfast, walk through at 10. We'll do treatment around 11 o'clock, around 10:30, 11 o'clock. Then we're back at the hotel around noon. So at that point, I'm kicking my feet up, watching some college football, looking at the decisions that those quarterbacks are making, looking at how they play, seeing different plays, because everybody runs the same plays, it's just different terminology. So I'm like, oh, they just ran, I don't want to say our plays, they just ran XYZ against cover 4. I think this team plays cover 4. So whenever we run XYZ, this will be open, that'll be open, that'll be open. Just kind of comparing our plays and our concepts to the plays and the concepts that the teams are watching on TV. And then we'll get ready to leave the hotel around 1:30 or 2 o'clock to come to the stadium. And at that point, I'm listening to gospel music again. And like I said, it's a lot of gratitude. I'm just thanking the Lord, man, because I could be gone. Just, showing that I'm grateful for the opportunity. And we get to the stadium and I get taped around 3 o'clock. We have Bulldog walk around 4:30. And after Bulldog walk, now it's on. Now I turn on my hype music. I turn on my little baby, my big Yavo, whoever it may be. And now I'm getting into my zone, my no cap. Sometimes my ride wave if I want to turn that pain into passion, So just listening to those different things to try. Right. Yeah. Instead of like sometimes even before games, like I'll shed tears, like listening to my gospel music, just thinking about, you know, how good God is, just in the grace and the mercy that he shows us. Jesus, he gave us his son, you know. So I'm like, man, if it weren't for him, I'd be dead and gone for real. I wouldn't even be able to play football or even just live my life the way that I want to live. But then after 4:30, now it's time to put that mug on. Now it's time to think about all the pain that I've been through. But between the Auburn game and the North Carolina game, Auburn game, that was my first game starting in 1,085 days. So before the game, I put myself into that headspace. I think about those 1,085 days where I wasn't playing, where I wasn't a starter, where I was overlooked. And now Coach Taylor says, prove us right. You know, I'm trying to prove Coach Taylor right and bringing me back and bringing me here to be his quarterback. But I'm also trying to prove those naysayers wrong and show them that I am who I say I am. So around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm getting into that mode. And then around 5:15, we take the field, and I'm out there for pregame, and I'm amped up. Sometimes I'll get to sweating during pregame. Coach Mile have to tell me, quiet, relax, man, calm down. I'm like, yeah, I got you, Coach. And I just be so ready to go. But that's kind of the tentative schedule for game day. I don't have any specific rituals. Of course, whenever I run out there, get to the 50-yard line, do my leap. I stole that from Dak Prescott. He'll do like the little tuck jump at the 50-yard line. Then I'll run to the goal line. I pray, and it's time to go to war.
Hey man, this is awesome, man. I'm enjoying this. Hey y'all. Hey, loving Arab people in the comments getting into it too, man. Then he said, "Let a naysayer know." Brand said, "Pass the collection plate."
Pass it.
And then Kay said, "Back with the fueling station volunteer with the license."
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna hit you with 3 quick hit questions, and then after the 3 quick hit questions, we'll get you out of here by you previewing the game this Saturday at Austin Peay. All right, quick hitter number 1.
Yes, sir.
All right. Favorite quarterback.
Favorite quarterback is Joe Burrow. I try to, and I get this from my dad. I try, like, whenever I was young, who's your favorite quarterback? I said, I like Mike Vick. Son, you're not gonna be that fast. He'd be honest with you, you're not gonna be that dynamic. You might be able to throw the ball a little bit better and be a little bit better decision maker. So let's look at these guys. Let's look at Tom Brady. He loved Jameis Winston. I like Jameis Winston. He's kind of a mentor for me. Let's look at Jay Boo, you know, those guys, you know. So my favorite quarterback as of right now, he's kind of been banged up, but I like Joe Burrow. I feel like from an athletic standpoint, we kind of share the same characteristics. He's a good decision maker. He hangs out in the pocket. He's about 6'4", 220. I'm about 6'4", 220. So we kind of favor each other. I like Joe Burrow.
All right. Name of the very first football team you ever played on.
The first football team I ever played on, the Center Point Wolfpack. We used to call them in Center Point. We used to call them the Wolfpacks. The Center Point Wolfpacks. I was number 13. I was 4 years old. My dad was just trying to introduce me to the game. I was just out there spinning on my helmet, like trying to spin on my head with DJ Heath. He was my buddy. But the Center Point Wolfpack, that was the first team I ever played on.
Hey man, that's dope. All right, now last quick hit question, man. All right, I just drafted this because you said you listen to gospel music, and I love this, man. So if you were gonna have a trial sermon before or a trial sermon in front of your teammates, what would the name of the message be?
The name of the message would probably be "Fear Not." The Bible says, "Do not be afraid" 365 times. So that's a "do not be afraid" for every day in the year. 365 times. I think that's divine. I think that's kind of crazy. So every time I wake up and I'm kind of afraid of making a bad decision, or I'm afraid of missing a throw, because that's natural, especially playing for Coach Maynard, Coach Mine, Coach DT. Like I said, they hold me to an extremely high standard, and I try to put myself in a situation where I take the good from what they're doing and what they're coaching. But the pressure can sometimes get to me, I feel like, especially not playing in so long. I'm like, man, I don't want to go to a situation where I'm not playing anymore because of mistakes that I made. But God gave us a "do not be afraid" for every day of the calendar year. So I think "fear not" would be the message of that sermon.
Ooh, Man, I love it, man. 365 times.
365
I'm
times.
trying to hold my peace here because you're going to have me running around this living room. That's my type of carrying on.
My dad's a pastor, so I kind of got that in my blood too.
I see it all on you. I see it on you.
Look at it. Hey, glory. Glory. And the children of God said, amen.
Amen.
He said, preach, young man, that will preach 365 fear nots. Fear nots, one a day. Yeah, man. All right. So we'll get you out of here on this, man. All right. 6 o'clock Central. Clarksville, Tennessee. Austin P is the opponent. Talk about the game for us, man. Preview it. What do you think it's going to take for us to get it done on Saturday night, man? And what do you hope as a team you guys get out of it as you get ready for SWAC play next week at FAMU?
Well, offensively, I think we need to play harder. I feel like we've taken too many plays off, whether it be mentally or physically. Me not going through my progression, stopping at progression 1 or stopping at progression 2. Instead of working to 3, 4, and 5, so mentally, I think taking plays off can hurt you more at quarterback, but also physically taking plays off at quarterback. And again, Coach Maynard especially has been really emphasizing me getting my feet in the ground, getting in cement, throwing from a solid foundation. Coach Taylor tells me all the time that I'm one of the best quarterbacks out if I throw from a solid foundation. And Coach Ma does a great job of reinforcing those habits in individual drills in practice. And sometimes he'll get with me after practice and we'll do different drills because, not to excuse, but I'm a basketball player. So if I'm off the dribble, sometimes, I'll shoot that fade away because it feels natural. So sometimes I'll move in the pocket and I'll throw without getting my feet in the ground. And that is fundamentally wrong. I'm not a good quarterback. Whenever I do that, I tend to float throws and I get throws to die on me. So that's a habit that I'm really, really trying to break. I got to get my feet in the ground in concrete whenever I throw. But like I said, it's just, we got to play harder. We have to know our alignment. We have to know our assignment. I think the game plan this week is going to be a little more simplified than it has been in the prior weeks. We're going to run some things that we're pretty comfortable with. Find different ways to get playmakers in space. And in this game, Coach Maynard said he's fine with 4-yard gains, 4 yards here, 5 yards there, but really just executing our offense because Austin P, they play extremely hard. So we have to match their intensity, or rather we have to come out playing hard and make them match our intensity. But they're kind of disorganized, I want to say, just for lack of better terms. They run some even fronts. They run some odd fronts. They don't really have a true identity. So they're going to throw a plethora of different coverages out there at us, a plethora of different blitzes, a plethora of different combos. So I feel like whenever you don't know what a team's identity is, you have to stay true to your identity. And we're going to go out there and we're going to throw the football. We're going to run the football. We're going to be balanced. We're going to play fast. We're going to play hard. And we got to go there and we got to hit them in the mouth because Coach Maynard's been emphasizing they're 0-3, but they lost to UCA. Yep, UCA, Louisville. Louisville's an ACC school. Central Arkansas is the number 7 team in the country in FCS. And SIU, Southern Illinois, is the number 8 team in the country in FCS. So they're a good football team. Respect off, but fear none. So we got to go out there and we got to hit them in the mouth. We got to play fast. And again, because they do so much on defense, we have to stick to our identity and do what we do well. And Coach Taylor's done a great job of, kind of expressing to me like, listen, man, I know you know a lot, but you don't know more than me. I'm the offensive coordinator and I have to accept that. And I've been trying to do a great job of expressing to him and demonstrating what he knows instead of trying to prove to him what I know. I'm the player. I'm not the coach. So just submitting to his play calls and running the offense the way that he designs it to be run. And Coach Maynard said all the time, man, Quad, you take the layups, you take the easy plays, you do what we coach you to do, we'll make you the star. You don't have to make yourself the star. So I feel like in that progression, that's where I'm at right now. And I'm starting to walk my way into being a good quarterback here because I'm just doing the little things right, working toward demonstrating what Coach Taylor knows instead of trying to prove to him what I know.
That's what's up, man. And this has been great, man. You've been great. I've had the pleasure. Well, we've all had the pleasure of watching you, grow within your time at A&M. And man, this has just been great. And shout out to your mom and all your family and your grandmother for joining us, man. This has all been great time, brother. So best of luck as you guys go up the road to take on Austin P. And as you guys get ready and move into the SWAC play, starting down there in FAMU. And man, we're gonna be cheering you on, man. 6 o'clock, everybody, 6 o'clock Saturday, 6 o'clock Central, ESPN Plus. Quad Brown. God bless you, brother.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the family. Love you guys. Thank you guys for having me on, man. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, man. All right.
We'll see you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
We'll see you.
All right. That's Quad Brown, man. That was awesome. And I do want to bump up. Miss K. Yeah, we got you here, Crystal. You know, we got to make sure that we support our athletes. You know, make sure you go buy their merchandise. Okay. The sales profits go to them. All right. You can start by doing the number 10 jersey.
Yes.
If you don't know where to go to purchase, go on Instagram to AAMU merch. That is the Instagram page that has all of the athletes, every athlete of every sport that's on the Influxer app, that's signed with Influxer. All their merch is on AAMU merch on Instagram. So make sure you go there, and that's where you can get all their merch.
Yep, and Mr. Tyler, he already leading the charge, buying my number 10 jersey tonight. So, all right, so let's get ourselves ready. We got coming up here, we've got our week 4 picks, and you know, this is the very last full week of games before we get into all SWAC play. All right, so we here. So everybody, as you typically do, make sure you put your picks of the games inside the comments, and we will get it going right now with FAMU going to take on Troy. All right, Corey, do you see anything in this game that you think Troy may have to be concerned about?
I really don't. You know, they're 0-3. But I just think Florida A&M will run into the same thing that most of other FCS or HBCUs will run into playing up. And so I just think, you know, Troy will win their first game.
All right. Dave, Jay, same thing. Got FAMU. Troy,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like if FAMU have the same amount of scholarships, it will be a game. I'm just being honest. But that's the only thing is that the FBS thing is going to pull off it in the second half. But I'll be rooting for FAMU, but I think Troy's going to win.
Yeah, I think FAMU is going to compete in this game better than they did against Miami, but I do have Troy winning this one. Next one, shout out to Valley. Now, they went with the white pants in week 1. They had the red pants in week 2. They went with the green pants in week 3. And now they take their show on down to Nichols. Nichols, their 0-3 record. Don't be misled by it. They played some tough teams as well. What you got, Jen?
Yeah, I know the score may I think Valley is going to show some improvement this season, but this game may be a little outside of their reach, so I'm going to go with Nichols.
Dave?
Yeah, hey, no question. I'm going with Nichols.
Corey?
Hey, you know, Valley will fight for a quarter, but Nichols will win.
Yeah, Nichols is gonna blow these boys out, man.
Why you ain't have to say it like that? I was trying to be gracious.
I hate to say it, but man, I love y'all, Valley. Lord knows I do. But y'all getting ready to get towed up in this game. Y'all get next game. You get your home opener on your new turf. So they, better days could be ahead for y'all, but it ain't this week. Clark Atlanta going down there to Bethune-Cookman. Okay, Bethune-Cookman, they scored 3 points week 1, 2 points week 2. Last week at Western Michigan, they broke out and scored 31 in a 59-31 loss. Do they get on the board for their first win, Jen?
Yes. Yes, they do.
All right. Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to ride with Bethune-Cookman on this.
Corey.
Yeah, Mary's children will get their first game this week. Clark Atlanta, though, have really played pretty good under their coach, and they have really, raised eyebrows. So, but I think Bethune-Cookman will, have more depth than Clark, and it'll show.
Yeah, I got Bethune by 21 in this game. I think that they'll get on the board. And yeah, they look like they found a quarterback that they can run with too. All right, UCA, you heard Quad just say 7th ranked team in FCS going down there to take on Pine Bluff. All right, Corey.
Woo, boy, y'all pray for Pine Bluff. I ain't gonna even. Central Arkansas, I've been watching film with Central Arkansas because they play Austin Peay. So I watched Austin Peay play them, and Central Arkansas, they got a mean rushing game. So I look for them to run for probably about 200 to 300 yards against Pine Bluff, and so it's gonna be ugly. So Central Arkansas will win this one.
Yeah. All right, Dave.
Yeah. Coach Anthony Pep Talk gonna get them boys fired up, but it ain't gonna help.
Jen.
Yeah, it's Central Arkansas. However, UAPB has the better logo of the two. How about that?
We gonna root for them, though. We gonna root for them.
Yeah, we gonna root for them. We rooting for them.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep with me. I think Central Arkansas by at least 4 scores. They're going to beat these boys up, man. Too physical. Too big up front, too. All right, Texas Southern off of a bye week. Go down and take on Lamar. Now, Lamar, they had played Valley, and they struggled with them. But Lamar is still a pretty good football team. Jay the Great, what you got?
Ooh, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of on the fence with this one. But I think it's going to be a close one. I mean, I'm rooting for Texas Southern, but I think I can see Lamar winning this.
All right, Dave.
I'm going to pick Texas Southern for the upset.
Oh, there's the first one. All right, Corey.
Texas Southern, I don't know, they Jekyll and Hyde. They hype folks up after they beat Prairie View, then they came back the following week and laid an egg against a team you thought they would have been competitive against that they wasn't. So I don't know. I think I think Lamar will win this game.
Yeah, I got Lamar by I'll go Lamar by 17 by 17 here. This game's in Beaumont, Texas. So not far from Houston. All right, now we got it. Now we're talking. Alcorn Braves going down there to Lake Charles to take on McNeese, them Cowboys. Alcorn won this matchup last year when it was in on the reservation. McNeese, you saw them against Southern. They let Southern let them off the hook. They should have got a win in week number 1. Okay, Corey, who you got?
Man, because Southern had McNeese. They really did, and played some good defense that game. However, I think as a team, when you catch teams, you need to go and beat them. And when you play teams early, that's the best time. I think McNeese having 4 games under their belt, I think McNeese will win this game against Alcorn, especially being at home.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with McNeese. I don't think we're gonna see the same Alcorn that we saw last time.
Jake.
I guess I'm gonna go in a different direction. How does GSPN say it? Them big bad Braves.
Big bad Braves.
Them big bad Braves. I'm going with Alcorn.
Yeah, shout out to my boy G. Also, we talked about this game at length on Sunday night. I got Alcorn winning this by a field goal. I know that they're struggling at quarterback and with their offense, and they didn't look as good against Edward Waters, but their defense is still pretty solid, and I think their defense will make the difference. So I got Alcorn by a field goal. All right, now. The opener in the West for Southern and the second game in the West for Prairie View. Now their record, Prairie View, is 1-2 on the season. They beat Northwestern State, they lost to Texas Southern, and they lost last week at Michigan State. Now y'all know this is one of the West's most bitter rivalries. There's a lot of them in the West. This is the first of many. What do you say, Jay the Great?
I don't want to pick this game, is what I want to say. But it's sort of. I know Southern caught a lot of flack when they played Jackson State, but I do think they have some strong points. Prairie View, I don't know. With that being said, I'm just going to go with the home team, and I'm going to pick Prairie View over Southern.
Okay, Dave.
Yeah, I'm picking Prairie View also. But I saw Southern display last week just wasn't the Southern that I'm used to seeing. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with Prairie View.
All right, Corey.
I think Prairie View wish they had that game against Texas Southern back. You know, I think they probably overlooked them, and they probably just thought they were gonna with the new coach. I think now, you know, especially after getting a victory, and Southern, offensively, I just it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a tough year for them offensively. So I think Prairie View will get it going and will defeat Southern, because this game right here is their season really for Prairie View, because they're 0-1 in the SWAC, so they can't afford a loss. So I think they're gonna take this game seriously, and I think they're gonna win this game.
Yeah, this is tough. You know, Zay Set was the quarterback last week, and he got hurt, and they had to go back with Noah Bodden. So yeah, Edwin Moore, you're right. Edwin Moore, I corrected. So it Prairie View is 1-2 overall. That's our fault with this one. So we got that one set up. So my thing in this game, I think because Prairie View knows if they lose this game, it's pretty much, I mean, this might be the end of their hopes to win the West again. So I got Prairie View close, man. I say maybe by like 3 or 4 points. I do believe though that Southern could win, but I got Prairie View.
Yeah, I just don't think Southern is as down as people are saying. I just don't. I mean, of course they're gonna have some room to grow, but I just don't see it. It's gonna be a tight game. It's gonna be a tight game.
All right, now this non-conference matchup down there in the hole. Yeah, Jackson State going down to Grambling. Last time these two teams played, Jackson State took Grambling down Route 66. 66-28 in the vet. Now, non-conference at night in the hole. Corey Williams, give it to me.
Man. The SWAC, the game of the week. Well, you got two proud programs that both of them are going in and believing that they can win. You know, the hole is a hard place to win at. However, our Bulldogs went down there and won. On their homecoming last year.
Say it again, Corey.
Yes, our Bulldogs went down and beat them in the hole on their homecoming last year.
And did.
But, you know, when you're looking at both teams, I think Grambling is very talented. Jackson State has talent as well. But this is a tough one. It can go either way, but I think Jackson State will go in the hole and win the game. Now it's going to be closer than a lot of people think it's going to be, but I think Jackson State will win.
Dave.
Yeah, I feel the same way as Corey. I do feel that Jackson will win this game, but I do think it's not going to be by much. It's going to be a real physical game for these two, because Grambling is going to have something to prove, especially after coming off this big win that they just had. So it's going to be a physical game. So yeah, I'm going to go with Jackson State.
Jen.
Honestly, I want to pick Grambling actually, but it's really going to depend on how Crowley does. With that being said, because of that, I've just said unsurety and QB. I'm going to go with Jackson State, but I will not be surprised if Grambling wins.
Well, Grambling, they did win at Texas A&M Commerce. They forced 6 turnovers and stopped the Lions 3 times on downs, but yet still needed overtime to win the game. Jackson State on Saturday night, they were physical and they dominated in all 3 phases against Southern. I picked Jackson State to win this game at the beginning of the year, and there's no reason for me to get off that right now. I've got Jackson State by 14 in the hole, but Grambling will compete and make this a game.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Lastly, our game. We already talked about it. Quad Brown talked about it. Jay the Great, what does it take for us to get this done in your words?
I think the biggest thing would be our attacking the pass. If we can do that, I think we will be fine. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Saturday I'm getting my car detailed. I'm gassing up, and I'm going to hit I-65 from Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm going to drive to Clarksville, Tennessee. Once I get there, and I'm gonna say this, and some may agree, some may disagree, but can't nobody beat me up, so that's what I'm going with. I expect an A&M win. I know we're the quote unquote underdogs in this scenario, but I feel like if we play our game, I expect an A&M. So I'm pulling for my Bulldogs over Austin Peay.
Dave, Corey, y'all got the last say on this.
I'm riding with you, Jim. I'm going with the Bulldogs. Quad said enough for me. I'm riding with the Bulldogs.
Corey.
All right. Austin Peay got us last time when they came to the Hill. But this is, I think, for us to be able to win this game, which I think we can, our defense is going to have to get some takeaways. That's one of the things I haven't saw this year as far as getting a lot of takeaways. And, the interior defensive line is going to have to play a little bit tougher. So those linebackers and everybody can roam a little bit better. And so, I think we're capable of playing better on the defensive side because Austin Peay, they're 0-3, but the teams they play is tough games. So they'll be prepared to play, and I think we'll be prepared to play. And I think offensively, like I said, we moved the ball against everybody we've played. We probably should be scoring more points with the yards that we put up. So as Quad stated, the execution and things, but with more experience, I can see them being able to do that. And, so I think this game will come down to, I think a lot of people think we're going to get blowed out but I think this is a game where we're going to show, like they say on the person on the comment said, those naysayers, I think this will show, how competitive that we're going to be in the SWAC, that it's going to be a competitive game. And if we're close, the Bulldogs, hey, if we're close down there, we're going to win that game. So I'm picking the Bulldogs to win by 3 points.
Let's go, Corey.
Well, there you have it. And those are our picks this week. And let's show everybody what we got for next week. Coming up on the next episode of From the Hill Podcast, digital media reporter Ty Floyd, plus Miss Alabama A&M University, Faith Gaston, and Bulldog Bards Performing Arts will join us. Plus, we'll have our weekly picks for SWAC football games and a full recap of fall sports. Won't you join us live Tuesday, September 24th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. It's fun. It's you. It's us. It's From the Hill Podcast. Yeah, that's next week, man. So, want to just give a special shout out to our guest tonight, Mr. Nelson McLeod. Wasn't he awesome? And then also Quad Brown, quarterback. Great time. Thank you for everybody that's out here that joined us. This was great. Jay the Great, Dave and Corey, and also T, and then also DT. everybody that's out here, we'd like to thank y'all for watching, man. If you're going to the game up there in Clarksville, safe travels, or wherever you are, safe travels. All right. I'm Wild Wayne Cartwright. On your way out, make sure if you have not hit that subscribe button, make sure you do that, and also hit that like button. Yeah, just me, Brand. Yeah, like the video. Appreciate that. Yeah, and also hit that subscribe. All right, so you saw what we got next week. We'll see you back here same time next week. God bless you, everybody. Love you, and as always, go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.